All right, we're live. Happy dog's knocking stuff over already. Yeah.
Maybe move that keyboard there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Happy Monday, everybody, and happy Halloween. This is going to be a special Halloween episode of Monday Night Draw. We're going to be doing Creature from the Black Lagoon, Meredith. And also welcome to Meredith.
Happy Halloween. Welcome to me. That's right. Welcome to me.
Right.
Welcome, Meredith. Without whom Monday Night Draw would not, with Meredith and Dave, would just be Monday Night Draw with Dave.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your toy.
Oh, good. Squeaky one. That's perfect.
Well,
Okay.
I did wonder where that thing disappeared to. It's been gone for approximately a week.
So I'm just going to jump right into this one, Meredith, because
Jump right in.
this is going to take a little
It's
while,
going to take a while. That's okay.
and I need my reference. As much as I'd like to pretend that I could draw the Creature from the Black Lagoon out of my head, heck if I know.
You cannot do that.
No. It's gonna
Henry
be...
Jermick says, hello, David Meredith. Happy Halloween.
No, happy Halloween, Henry. Thank you for coming. Good to see you here.
Chris Reader says, since my birthday's on Halloween, I called dibs on the sketch. Well, you don't get a sketch, Chris. You know what you did win? Happy birthday to you, Chris Reader. Happy birthday to you, Chris Reader. Happy birthday on Halloween. Happy birthday to you, Chris Reader. Hopefully it's as good as a sketch.
Well, hopefully the sketch turns out now.
Come on, after you've had Meredith sing happy birthday, there's nothing more you need.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Moving on.
You interrupted Harry Potter tonight, Dave.
Which movie were we watching?
We're
Which
on
one?
number 3.
Number 3. Number 2 was last night.
Number 2 was last night.
Yeah.
I admit to finishing it without him.
Really, on your own, you watched. You know what? They're good movies.
Selfish. I totally did. We're watching. Isaac and I are watching the Harry Potter movies. We're running out of stuff to watch, and I've owned them. We've bought them all ages ago.
I've gotten used to.
It was my sister's suggestion on the weekend.
I've gotten used to Daniel Radcliffe and who's the girl? I can't remember.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson as adults now, so see them as little kids. Like, hey,
well, the first movie, they're so young.
Yeah.
They age up quickly.
Yeah.
By movie number 3, they're like, you wonder that they don't have driver's licenses.
So what we're gonna do with this one, I'm gonna have them coming up out of the water. You could say that's me cheating.
You don't want to draw feet.
Right. I don't want to draw feet. Well, especially it's not even just the feet. It's.
I mean, to be fair, it is a creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right. I figured it would be kind of appropriate, and it's a bit of a different thing. Drawing somebody coming out of the water, it represents its own kind of challenge. So hopefully this will be kind of interesting that way, not only for the textures but also for the water.
Dennis Kelly says, that's funny, Meredith. My family just finished the run of Harry Potter movies. They're so good. They never get old. Well, my sister just watched them, and she's the one that recommended. She was here on Sunday when I was saying, I'm so tired. I don't want to do anything, which is not how my Sunday played out. But she said she just finished Harry Potter movies, and so I thought that would be a great thing to do.
Yep, they stand up. Well, they're so. What are they? The first one it's over 20 years, and 22, 23 years. It's a long time.
2002.
But it's well into the kind of CGI era. It looks like a modern movie. You really can't tell much of a difference now.
The first movie was before Everett was born.
Yeah.
To give you an idea.
Yeah, people more our age, and I'm a little bit older, but even for people 10, even 20 years younger.
I'm shocked. Luke for Wardson says, I own all the Harry Potter movies on Blu-ray and have never seen them. They're unopened. I hope you just mean you haven't watched those particular versions, Luke, and then you've actually iTuned them or something so you could watch them because they are so good.
Did you know, Meredith, that you can, and this is not an advertisement, believe it or not, but you can actually get your old movies CGC'd. So if you have like a copy of whatever from the 80s in a VHS and it's like high quality and whatever, you can CGC that thing.
I wish you told my sister that. Like, I
Now,
wish that was the case ages because she had every Disney movie on VHS.
You pretty much want to have that like in the plastic still, though. So
Well, fair enough.
not them, and that's why they're
never seen them. Luke, for Christmas this year, treat yourself to watching the Harry Potter movies. Sit down with your family. You've got kids, and watch them over the Christmas break. They are so good. Pick one a day. I mean, how can anybody not watch the Harry Potter movies? They're so good.
Absolutely. How?
So, when do you want me to make the bad news announcement, Dave?
Okay, just go for it.
Okay, so we have good news and we have bad news.
What's the good news?
The good news is not next week, but the week after, Dave will be streaming Thursday nights. They will be art streams as you're used to. He's going to be having, guests, and he's going to really make that a focus.
And let me just say the reason being, I really enjoy doing the art streams. I learned so much from it. I feel like they provide a lot of value as much as I like sitting and drawing characters. And I really do enjoy this. I enjoy spending the time with you guys. I really like being able to have artists on, and it's very, very difficult to I was doing it over the summer. I have a backlog at this point now, which is, it's a blessing, but I have a lot of artists I'd really like to bring in and do some drawing with them and do some painting with them. I've got some painters lined up, a lot of stuff really kind of going, and I'm just looking at it going, you know what, 2 streams a week, I can't do it.
So you know what that means, people.
So what that means is Monday Night Draw will be
tonight will be the last Monday night.
Well, not completely, because we'll still do holidays.
We'll do special streams. Meredith will come on for special stuff.
Like we've got one coming up.
We'll do Christmas.
Not just Christmas, but we've got one coming up. So speaking of which, I'm going to show you guys this right now. So check this out. Okay.
What do you have coming up?
Here's the whole box. You can't even really see it. But anyway, I got this from Comics on Coffee. I'm going to be doing a stream with Comics on Coffee. Someone from Comics on Coffee is going to come in. We're going to talk about it. Anyway, they just sent me this. By the way, I just want to point out, we promote Comics on Coffee over here on my channel. I don't get paid to promote them.
We do not get paid.
What I get is free coffee. And they have a DC license. So here's a Harley Quinn with Joker, Superman, Jim Lee Superman, pretty awesome. Here, this is my favorite one right here. This is Jason Fabok Joker from 3 Jokers.
Love me some Jason Fabok.
Blueberry Blast.
Ooh.
You guys have seen this one. This is, it's still pretty cool. It's Batman. I've got so many in here. Here is another Jason Fabok Batman right here.
They sent me another coffee. Any more coffee mugs or just coffee?
Check that out. It's the movie Batman. And this is Central City Spiced Rum. So I've got more. Like I could just keep going. But I'm not going to do that to you. Oh, wait. Here, let me show you the Wonder Woman one. Look at that.
Hey, that's our Wonder Woman!
How cool. I'm knocking stuff over it. Yeah, that's our Wonder Woman from 2014 now, Meredith, if you can believe that.
Long ago. Almost 10 years.
Yeah. So yeah, I've got my very own coffee, and this one is Paradise Island Coconut Pecan Coffee. So we'll definitely have to try that.
That just sounds good. I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah, you're not really a coffee drinker, but I'll drink it. And yeah, awesome. I've got a few more too. They also, in the box, I got all kinds of stickers too. Check that out. Got a Harley Quinn, I got a Batman, Detective Comics.
You mean this Wonder Woman stickers?
Well, hold on. I've got so many in here. Some of these.
Sorry, I'll go through it later.
Frank Miller, Superman, Harley Quinn. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sure I've got some in here. I've got so many stickers.
Stop now. Stop.
All right.
I don't know what that's to do with me, though.
So nothing. But what it does have to do, actually it does have something to do with you, because we're going to be doing a stream with them. I'm going to be, and the reason I'm doing it is my character Blight, that a lot of you guys have seen, that I've drawn a bunch of times for the channel. It's been on the cover of Monday Night Draw Season 1, the sketchbook. I'm going to be drawing that character, and they're going to put it on some coffee, which I think is really awesome. So that's coming up. And Meredith's going to be, I need help for.
Okay, so that's, yes. So we're saying at the end of the day, and I think you guys can all understand this, there's only so many hours in a week. Dave can't stream twice a week. So we had a conversation this week about what we were going to do. And I think everybody ultimately, as much as I love you guys and you guys love me, it just makes more sense for Dave to focus. The Monday Night Draw format started during COVID, but this channel has become so much more than Monday Night Draw.
Well, I really didn't have the ability to bring in artists like,
No.
and I didn't even have plans to do that.
Shh. Nobody needs you to talk right now.
Okay.
I'm having a moment right now with
All right.
the stream. With
Didn't
the
realize
vlog.
this was all you.
It
You
was
go.
all me.
All right.
Anyway, at the end of the day, what this channel is now is an educational format for artists, with all of your how-to videos and all of your guests that you have. That is what a channel that originated with Monday Night Draw has grown into, with now 430 subscribers. And so if we have to sacrifice something, at the end of the day, it makes the most sense to cut Monday Night Draw, because Dave grows from those streams, you guys grow from those streams, and I'm still here. I'm still in the house. So if Dave needs me to come in for things like Comics on Coffee stream, or let's do a Christmas stream, I will be here for you, and we'll be here for him.
Yeah, I've got a stream planned with a very, very big writer that you guys have all heard of.
I'll definitely be here.
Meredith's going to be there for
So it's not the end of Meredith and Meredith singing to you guys.
The real question is, Meredith,
I know you're really going to miss the Meredith singing the most.
can I make the really big writer draw something on the stream? That's the real question.
Well, you have to talk to him.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about that.
This right now, in terms of the Monday Night Draw format, is the final stream. Dave will take a week off, and then he'll be back. What does that make? November the... Hold on. That will make it November... I'm trying to forget. The 16th. Thursday, November the 16th, Dave will be back with a guest. So there you go. Now I'll go back and read all the comments. Meredith is leaving the stream. Who said that? Jay, right? I missed it. Meredith is leaving the stream. Meredith's not leaving the stream, but Monday Night Draw is going on hiatus so that you guys can all focus on awesome artists and learning from awesome artists. And I feel like this is a good one.
What's that?
To leave on.
Oh, yeah.
Joanne Grant says, we need you for like a 5-minute cameo every week. Maybe.
Maybe.
JDSCT, we insist on regular Meredith cameos. Fair enough.
All right. Yeah, I think we can do that.
Dennis Kelly.
She's catching her breath.
Dennis Kelly says, as long as Dave is doing art, I'm good, but must have Meredith Finch cameos. Hulkster. This makes me feel so old and sad. I'm sure that must be something about no more Meredith. Extreme Baby, no more Meredith singing! Tomic Art. Meredith is the best. Tomic, watch the Harry Potter movies. Ross Klein, we will miss you, Meredith. Kevin P.S. P.A. West, we love you, Meredith. So I love you guys too, and I will miss this.
Absolutely.
Tomic Art has a super chat for $99. Tomic says, so cool. I'm assuming he means the creature and not the fact that Meredith is sleeping.
I tough to say. Speaking of Tomic Art, though,
maybe Tomic's glad I'm gone.
So
get Meredith out of the picture.
I have something I want to show you guys. This is from Tomic Art. This is a picture that I couldn't find. It was in my suitcase. I looked in my suitcase. I looked in the wrong spot. Yeah, I could not. And I thought, anyway, I found it. Meredith found it. But whatever, we have it.
Meredith found it. I'm like, did you look in your suitcase? Yes, I looked in my suitcase. It's not there. Yes, sir, Meredith found it.
So yeah, it was in my suitcase. But this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Tomic Art. This is being published or already published, I would imagine. So I was able to get a print from Tomic in New York. He even signed it for me. So yeah, very, very cool. It's an awesome picture. I don't know. Did Tomic color it? Ask him if he colored it. I guess I'm asking him right now, but yeah, the colors are great too. All the way around. It's a really great picture. It's a great layout. So yeah, it's just so nice to see Tomek, who has been with us on the stream right from the beginning and growing so fast. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar just with how much his work has come along just over the last few years, from really, a cold start almost to, professional quality work and starting to really get work and build a career. So it's very, very exciting. I really wanted to show you guys this right away when I got back. But we have it now. So here we go. A couple weeks late. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool.
So great. Dan Lassard has a super chat for $5. Dan says, I think you need to record Meredith's happy birthday singing. So when Meredith isn't on the stream, we can still have a Meredith experience. Maybe you need to record Meredith like a brand new intro where I sing, it's Thursday night today.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we're totally recording that. You got to stop. I'm begging you. Oh, man.
He's gonna draw some art with his friends.
You know what?
I mean, everybody's gonna miss you blushing with embarrassment. The red face.
I don't have my camera on right now.
When Meredith sings, I know this is why. I mean, it's not even worth it because you don't have your camera on. So
yeah,
can see
and actually, I talked to Allison. She offered to help, and I do need the help. I just got so busy. You know what?
Play Dungeons and Dragons today?
No, we play every 2 weeks. So our next time is in 2 weeks.
Hulkster says, "Can you sing me happy birthday, Meredith? My birthday's on the 16th. I can."
Oh no, Hulkster. Why?
Happy birthday to the Hulkster.
Oh man.
Happy birthday to the Hulkster. Happy birthday to the Hulkster on the 16th. And everybody who's going to have a birthday in the next 365 days. Happy birthday to the stream.
Okay.
I'm so good at that. Come on, you can't deny. Yeah. Like off the cuff improvisation.
Yeah, it's magical.
It's magical.
All right, I need more reference. I want to make sure that his arms are done properly, and I've got 2 pictures up here, and neither one of them is really showing it well.
Elfin Art's banned for the rest of the night. He says, please, no one say it's their birthday.
See.
He's banned. Eric.
There you go, Elfin Art.
Give him the boot.
There you go,
Elfin. So unappreciative. I've been here for 3 years. How long have you been here, Elfin?
Oh, Elfin? I think you said elephant.
No. Alphin, Elfin Art.
Elfin is grandfathered in now at this point.
No. If you have not been here since day one, you do not get to trash the Meredith.
Trashing the Meredith, it instantly makes you an OG around here. You know what? I should stop before I get in trouble.
Yeah, you could be sleeping on the couch. Oh, wait.
Yeah. So I have actually been sleeping on the couch a lot. Partly my fault because I keep staying up too late, but also Meredith is up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And if I'm going upstairs at 2 o'clock in the morning, I wake her up and she's just up the whole night. So I end up sleeping on the couch more than I would like, which is why pretty soon you're not going to be up so early.
No, I know.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Mike says he didn't color it, but he did draw it. So,
Very nice. Well, he got very lucky with the colors too.
So that's awesome. I don't have to do stalls anymore.
Yeah.
SCS Powerlifting is a super chat for $5. The most angelic voice ever. Taylor Swift, who is all I have to say. LOL.
Yeah. LOL, definitely.
You're so mean. So mean. Hands of Sin says, say it isn't so, Mary Death. I'm sorry, it's true. But I won't be gone but not forgotten, right?
My guess is we'll have Meredith on a stream, if not once a month, pretty close. I shouldn't say that right now because she'll freak out, but
Extreme maybe says, who's going to be banner of us weirdos without Meredith? Exactly.
You guys still got me. I might not be as emotive, but I'm right up there with you.
But I am the weirdo. I'm the queen of the weirdos. Because I'm the most weird.
Yeah.
Anthony G, $4.99 has a super chat. Getting banned by Meredith Used to be a badge of honor
Yeah.
for us Alzheimer's. It's true. And which is why Alfin should feel honored because you guys got banned so many times.
Oh yeah.
He was you may be the last person to get banned by Meredith Alfin. So, you know.
Got his thumb.
We need t-shirts. I got banned by Meredith. We never what if you do another Kickstarter, you need that t-shirt, Dave. I got banned by Meredith. No, people would want that t-shirt. Am I wrong, people? I think ban me, says Hulkster. Everybody wants to be banned by Meredith.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Want to be party in crowd.
Right.
Joanne Grant says, working on the shirts as we speak. Larry Lambert says, I would buy one. See, there you go. Next stream, I'm going to tell Jason.
Yeah,
when you do your next Kickstarter, it's got to have an I was banned by Meredith shirt.
I'd wear one of those. That reminds me. I have that intro that I got to write, right?
You do.
Do you have the information for it? So what I'm talking about.
You just have to stop.
Okay, well, this is
complicated. There's no like parameters.
Yeah, well, I
It's
won't
just
ever
write an
do
intro.
it. I won't ever do it on my own.
What I got.
Okay, well, I
Write
won't.
an intro.
All right, I'm never doing it. Never gonna happen. So I've got a Marvel Art of David Finch book, and we're waiting on my intro. So yeah, I need to get that done.
Dennis Kelly says, if it's too long in between appearances, we'll just bug Dave. Dennis, bug Eric. Because bugging Dave is pointless.
Oh no,
Eric will be in charge.
Yeah, it is true. Eric will be in charge.
Eric knows how to get a hold of me.
I mean, as it is anyway. Eric has been in charge of the stream for quite a while.
No, Meredith's in charge of the stream.
Okay, yes, you. But you know what I'm saying. Like all the booking, all that stuff, working everything out. Yes, it is. We couldn't do it without him.
We could not do it without Eric. That's why we let Eric come to our house.
We let him? You sound terrible.
I know. I'm awful. That's why people love me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, we love Eric. Mostly we love Brooklyn. Let's be honest. We love his wife, Hannah, in Brooklyn. We tolerated Eric. We invited his wife and child.
Yeah, they were great.
When are they coming back? The ponies want some more rides. Henry Jeremy says, Meredith, can you please ask Gabe if he will show us the drawing he got from Aaron Lepresti?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to have to find it. I'm just going to do that right now.
La, la, la.
Meredith.
Stop. I was going to say something.
You were going to say something. Okay.
Saying something.
No, don't do it.
In the interim, I'm filling the time as you go through drawer after drawer.
I'm going to get so flustered trying to get you to stop singing.
Zerg 10 says, my song in honor of Meredith leaving, Ding Dong, the Wicked Witch is dead.
Oof.
Terrible.
I love it.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
I thought people liked me. Adam Meyer has a super chat for $20. Happy Halloween! Meredith, I will miss you singing the Oscar Mayer hot dog theme. I will miss it too, Adam. But you know what, Adam? I will never forget you because of that. So there you go. Adam will always be in my heart.
That's very sweet. Come on.
He's not.
Here it is.
Oh, he found it. He found it. He's coming this way. And by the way, Dave, Henry Jeremick said, Meredith, you sing, girl. If there wasn't so many freaking copyright restrictions, you have no idea how many songs I would be singing.
So this is my picture from Aaron Lepresti.
That's phenomenal.
It is. It's beautiful. It really is. It's a beautiful drawing.
What character is it?
You know what? And people have asked, and I've kind of dodged the question because the truth is, I actually don't know.
It looks like Rose.
I don't know, and I know
I don't think it is Rose, but it kind of looks a lot like Rose.
He told me, and I've forgotten. And honestly, it doesn't matter.
Let's pretend it's Rose.
Yeah, I don't care what character is. And also, by the way, because he's not me, it's got feet. So yeah, it's a beautiful sketch.
You know, Aaron can draw feet.
He really can. He can draw anything. I mean, look at how great that is. So yeah, it was very, very nice.
Eric says, I love you guys, and I would gladly mow the lawn all over again. Yeah, Eric, you guys think Eric came for fun? Oh, no, we put him to work. He had to cut the grass.
It was Meredith's birthday party. We were a little overwhelmed, and yeah, Eric.
I mean, it's a ride on lawnmower. It's more like a video game than work. But
yeah, it's fun.
It was fun.
I
think to give you an idea of how much fun it is, my 14-year-old son will do it voluntarily.
Yeah.
So, don't feel bad for Eric. No sweat was lost in the cutting of that grass.
Go
Otis!
on, dog.
Oh, come on. Out of here. Now our phone's off the hook.
Yeah, hold on.
Go. You're too big for this.
All right.
Maybe pick stuff off the floor.
My floor is not bad.
Princess Amethyst from Sword and Sorcery.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so
That's who it is. Thank you, Scott Pickering. See, I wanted to pretend it was Rose, but I knew it really wasn't.
yeah. Well, it predates Rose.
She was really far too pretty too.
Whoa.
I mean, like, you know, a mature, because Rose was a youthful character.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Sure. Fair enough. How old was Rose?
Let's go 16.
Okay.
Daniel Costa says, "Am I watching David Finch drawing?" Daniel, you are, in fact.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, watching David Finch.
And you know what? My fault for not having a camera. I didn't bother because it's not synced up right. And hey, look, on the bright side, I got a lot of work done this week. And we have an intro again.
Intro for the last stream ever.
I know. But Allison's going to help me with some other stuff. So we'll have all kinds of great stuff coming up.
Oh, now that Meredith's gone.
Yeah,
you'll
don't
have all
even
kinds of
start.
Great stuff. I see how it goes. It's fine. See who's making your dinner tomorrow night. Probably be we cooked like last night.
Yep.
I actually cooked, so there you go.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I made a lovely dinner. Dennis Kelly says, Meredith Finch, maybe Dave can sweet talk Mark Silvestri to come on the show. That would be sweet.
Now, so here's the thing. Any guest that I bring on needs to be able and set up to draw live, and that can be a real challenge. And so while I can pretty confidently say Mark would be happy to come on. I mean, we get along pretty well, and he was such a great boss, and we have a good relationship. If I can get him to draw live, that I don't know. I have actually mentioned it to him before, and he didn't just shoot the idea down. So, I need to follow up and maybe, apply some pressure. I don't know, really be amazing. It would be an incredible thing to have, but, we will see. Lily pad. Another lily pad.
Scott Pickering says, I'll miss these mini tutorials. I love them.
Yeah, that's, what, we'll still do that a little bit, but it is a little tougher with a guest because
you're not going to be able to do it with a guest, let's be honest.
Well, I still do. It's just, it is a little tougher. But, we have so much more to learn from the guests that we have on and different perspectives, and I'm going to be doing more tutorial stuff. I say this all the time, but I tried doing like just really short ones. Truthfully, they didn't really do very well. And I feel like, okay, I'd be better off just to take that time and do something a little bit more thorough instead of a whole bunch of them that, do as well as one that I just put a little more time into. And I know exactly what I want to do. I right now am working on Walking Dead covers again. So as soon as I finish, that's going to be just in a few days. I'm going to get the next video finished and put up. Now, finished. I don't want to just clean put up because if it takes me a little longer, I always feel terrible, but I'm feeling pretty good that it'll be pretty quick. Especially with losing Meredith. I feel like now I got to work at it.
Yeah, you do. Jim Dickinson has a super chat for $5. You mentioned you're never too old to get started in comics. Thank you for that.
Well, that's great. So is he?
Doesn't say.
I'd be very curious to know what you're doing. Are you, have you started working? Are you drawing recreationally? Or are you building to getting work? Like, I'd be very curious to know where you are kind of in that journey. And, every step is its own challenge for sure.
And Tomicard has a super chat for $1.99. Love the flock and this channel. Miss Meredith. MISS. That's Meredith. And then sad face.
I think it's MISS either way, Meredith.
But it's not capital MISS.
Oh, okay.
It's small, little m.
There you go.
As in, I'm going to miss. Not as in.
Right. Fair enough.
Because everyone's going to miss me.
Mm-mm.
Just
Well-
when I'm getting ready to stay up late, we're cutting the stream. You're cutting me out of your life. It's fine. I'll just watch more Harry Potter with Isaac.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I just, I've talked to artists about coming on.
I know. New York, you're not.
Well, and
really.
I've talked to artists like over a year ago, and I just haven't been able to do it yet. Sometimes and part of the problem is I talk to somebody and then I forget to mention it to Eric, and time goes by, and but either way, having just artist focused streams in the summer is just not enough. There's so many great artists out there, and also there are artists that I've had that I'd really like to be able to have back.
Here's the thing: this channel is going to evolve. So Monday Night Draw went on for 3 years, and now you're going to do Thursday night art streams, and that will go on for as long as that goes on.
Yeah,
and then it'll evolve into something else, or it won't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I have a couple things I wanted to read. Zerg10 wants to know, David, what's the difference in using a lead holder or a regular mechanical pencil for drawing comics?
The difference is that you can actually get a finer point with a lead holder if that's important. It's not really all that important, but you can because you sharpen this with obviously the sharpener and lead pointer, and you can get a very, very sharp point. Really, that's not all that important. The reason I use a lead holder is I can press harder. The actual lead itself is much thicker than what you'll get in a mechanical pencil. And this is very much dependent on your own personal. Are you a hard presser? If you are, maybe a lead holder is a better option. If you have more of a light kind of touch, then mechanical is a better option. So I use a lead holder because I tend to press too hard. That's really the entire reason why. These are not the best swamp leaves in the whole world, but there's only so much time. So I'm trying to get as much in as I can before Meredith sees what I'm doing and shuts me down.
What? I'm trying not to pay attention. Jim Klein has a super chat for $20. Jim says, sad to hear Monday Night Draw is ending, but I'm looking forward to more frequent Thursday artist streams. Thanks for sharing so much of your time and energy for Monday Night Draw. Dave, thanks for taking the time to do so many mini tutorials on the show.
Well, thank you very, very much, Jim. It's very generous. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, this whole thing, it has been a pleasure. And I would be a lot more upset about it if I didn't know that we'll be doing this again. This is not like this is the end. It's just not going to be a constant.
A lot more upset about it if you didn't live with me.
Yeah, and I've got to put up with her every day. So, all right. I didn't mean it that way. Love you.
I love to put up with you as well, Dave.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Brush.
And there will be, I feel like somebody just asked, hold on.
Dan Lassard's here.
JDSCT, he had a super chat, Dave.
Yeah, what was it?
Happy birthdays.
Okay. Well, thank you, Dan.
JDSCT, can we get a Monday Night Draw season 2 and 3 book? And yes, there will be.
Yes, absolutely.
There will be the final, one more Monday Night Draw book. So.
Yes. And there will come a point pretty eventually. There will come a point when I'm going to do a book for a lot of the artist streams. What I don't know is about using the other artists' work. So that's going to be a case-by-case basis. I'm hoping that I can. I think it'd be really great, but it can be a big ask. Hey, can I just have your work to publish?
No, you just need to get them to sign an NDA first. Yes, you have permission to use my art before they do the stream.
You know what? I'm not going to put anybody in that position, though. If they don't want to do that, then it's a totally acceptable.
I'll do it.
You'll do it. Yeah.
Nancy Boy wants to know, Dave, if you'll be at Motor City on the Friday.
Yeah. Is that this Friday? Just coming right
I
up?
don't know. When is Motor City? He said the Friday, so it won't be this Friday.
Okay.
Let me check.
Whichever weekend it is, I will be there on the Friday. And so it sounds like Lance is going to be there. I haven't seen Lance it's been a few years now. It's been a while.
It's not this weekend.
Okay.
It's the next weekend.
Okay, which is perfect because
Remembrance Day weekend.
The end of
November 10th through the 12th.
The last weekend or the last week of November, I'm going to be going to San Diego, and I'm going to spend
don't say it.
A few days at the Watts Atelier.
No.
So
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be carting water by myself.
I know, but you have Isaac, and it's important.
Terrible.
I'm going there to.
Water boy.
I'm going there to learn. So the Watts Atelier, you guys, I'm sure a lot are familiar, but it is really the premier fine art painting school in North America, and we were lucky and fortunate enough to have Jeffrey Watts of the Watts Atelier come on the stream and paint Conan, which was really amazing. He painted it with gouache and made it look a lot easier than it is. So, and Eric Gist, who also we've had as a guest twice now, actually, is a professor at the Watts Atelier, along with his Marvel Comics cover work. He does all kinds of different covers. As a matter of fact, actually, we both just did covers for Moon Knight for the same issue, which is very cool. Anyway, he's a teacher there too. He's going to be there. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. I'm going to be, I don't know exactly how, but I'm going to do some kind of something from there while I'm there to, show you guys the school and show you guys what it's like. But yeah, I'm excited to go and, and be a student.
All right. Edward Lee has a super chat for $3. Edward wants to know, will Kelly Jones be on Thursday?
This is what I'm talking about. I talked to Kelly Jones. I'm dying to have him on, and part of what's happened is I haven't talked to him for just a little bit, and I've had other things that have just been like an immediate pressing, like, hey, can we do this right now? And so those have happened. I am dying to have Kelly Jones on when he can come on, and I've gotten. It's just been too much. So this does mean yes. Now, obviously, I can't speak for Kelly Jones, so not for me to say, but certainly for me to say that I'm dying to have him on, and he has said that he would be willing to do it. I think that he would. I can't speak for him, but I'm sure. So, take that for what it is. I think yes, and that's Bart Sears is another artist that I talked to last year, and I'm dying to have on, and it's constantly on my mind. He is an incredible artist for both Marvel and DC Comics and many others, like so many people. But he also did Brutes and Babes, not only back in Wizard Magazine, but also recently he did some books of Brutes and Babes. I did a picture for it a few years ago. And I learned so much of my anatomy from Bart Sears. A lot of it, really. It's the foundation of the way that I draw superhero anatomy, along with George Bridgman. So dying to have him on. I talked to him about it. He said he would do it, and we just have not scheduled it yet. And this stuff needs to happen. Like, it's, needs to happen. So there you go.
Diet Milk has a super chat for $2. Let's see that Rob Zombie drawing.
Rob Zombie drawing.
I don't know.
Thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. I don't know what you mean, though. I'm sorry.
No Rob Zombie drawing.
Oh, you know what? I do know what he means.
Okay.
We talked about it. I'm assuming that it was him, but if not, there was talk about drawing Rob Zombie. So,
but not this week.
Not this week.
And now not.
Oh no, it'll happen. It just might end up being next Halloween. This, you know what? I'm going to throw out there, everyone. It was kind of a last minute. I watched Five Nights at Freddy's with my son this weekend on Friday. We watched it opening day. And I was really thinking about doing one of the characters from Five Nights at Freddy's just because he loved the movie. It was a lot of fun, And then I thought, you know what? I don't know how many people that watch the stream would really, want that. I don't know. And I had also said that I would do Creature from Black Lagoon, so I didn't want to just change what I'm doing. So we're doing Creature from the Black Lagoon, but I definitely thought about doing like Freddy Fazbear.
But you stuck with your.
But I stuck with what I promised.
Luke for Wardson says, Meredith, I made you a band shirt. Luke, did you email me? Because Luke is my guy. He's the Finch Farm.
Yes, that's right.
It's my Finch Farm sign, by the way.
Nobody here knows.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, that's been an adventure getting that all.
It's taking some time.
But you know what? At least it'll hopefully be what you want when it's done.
Yes.
I got a bad tangent right there. I'm going to have to fix it. So what I mean is his breastplate is going right into his knuckle. So I'm going to change that. One thing about characters like this is I really do try to make the scales and everything accurate, but not slavishly accurate. So it's not perfect.
I remember when we had our black and white movie marathon. Do you remember that?
Nope.
You don't? You don't remember when you went through the whole we're gonna watch Creature from the Black Lagoon?
Did you watch that stuff with me?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Did you inflict it upon me? You mean?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't realize that it's very patient of you.
This is why I'm a good wife.
Yeah. I didn't realize you. Yeah, I watched all of the old.
Yeah, you didn't watch them alone, but good to know you remember that I watched them with you.
Yeah.
That's money in the bank for me.
Yeah, that's right. Well, at least you reminded me. Obviously, it was very meaningful for me.
I'm just putting money in the bank right now, and I'm letting the whole stream know it.
Yeah.
So that's a check I'm going to cash tonight, just so you know.
Yeah. The other thing about art streams,
what?
I can talk about what happened in Formula One without you getting all upset.
You can talk about Formula One. I'll just watch my Facebook for a bit. Go nuts.
It's not the same without Eric here. But Henry did.
What?
Eric.
Eric is here.
Yeah, I know he's here, but
is he not here? Is there no Eric here tonight? Isn't he?
You know what I mean.
I don't know. I haven't seen Eric.
Oh,
maybe Eric isn't here. Eric, are you here? I see Russ Hicks. Where's Eric? There he is. He's here.
Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I was gonna don't scare me like that.
But yeah, Henry was talking about it. So it's a crazy week.
Chris Burke has a super chat for $9.99. Just want to thank you, Dave and Meredith, for all the time and energy you put into these streams and tutorials. I've gotten more of those than I have anything else ever. Very appreciated.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that a lot. And I feel like I have been. I don't just feel like I have been. I've been very delinquent on new tutorials. Now, the nice thing is, the old ones, they're not topical, so they're watchable 3, 4, 5 years later, which is great. So there's a library of stuff there now, but
libraries of what?
Of stuff, videos,
kind of stuff?
Of old videos, Meredith.
Old Monday Night Draw videos.
No, of my tutorials.
Oh, not Monday Night Draw.
Yeah. Okay. There's also
not promoting that too. Like people don't want to go back and watch Meredith again.
Yes. Okay.
FYI, Tango Model Work says most of the old black and white classics are barely over an hour long, but some may seem longer. And they all do, Tagmo.
Yeah.
All do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be honest.
I remember thinking, this is time in my life I'm never going to get back.
Yeah. There were a few times watching Creature from the Black Lagoon
really
where I was thinking to myself, even,
I have to really, really look.
It's not fully holding up, I have to admit.
Sean Hero has a super chat for $19.99. Hey Dave, do you think you'd ever have Stephen Platt as a guest? You both, in my opinion, have the best Moon Knights, and it would be insane to see you both draw them. Sorry if that's disrespectful to
who? Who could that be disrespectful to?
Guests. Recommend a guest.
Oh no, no, not at all. Look, the great thing, first of all, I've had so many different, varied guests, and everyone is great, really, in their own way. And that's the great thing about being able to have so many artists on is we're all so different, and while we have a lot in common, every artist brings their own thing to the stream. So yeah, that said, Stephen Platt would be an incredible guest. I would jump at that to have him draw. I don't know if any of you have ever had the chance to meet him, but he is freaking hilarious too. He does the best impressions of anybody I've ever met. Like, you can just go on. So, he would be a great guest drawing. He'd be just a great guest to have on, just to listen to him talk for a while. So, you know what? I'm going to look into it. No promises, obviously, because I can't speak for other artists, but yeah, I would certainly love to have him. So I'll try. This is going to be a bit of a mad dash because it won't work without some of the backgrounds. So they're going to be a little bit, they're not going to be heavily detailed.
No, and it's already 7:47.
Yeah, I know we're actually doing pretty well.
Hopefully that's something I made up in my head.
Yeah.
Dennis Kelly wants to know, hey David, did you ever do your teeth tutorial? I haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't. And
he hasn't because he's too busy.
Well, yes, but at the same time, that is actually coming up within the next couple of weeks.
Because he's canceled Meredith, so.
Yeah. Another thing.
Look at all the things you guys are going to get now that he's canceled his wife.
Well, there is another thing that I really wanted to do. Oh, would you stop? That I've really wanted to do, and I have been very delinquent on, and that is review streams. And review streams, they take a few hours for sure. Like, I think it's been like about 4 hours is average. That's a lot with 2 streams. I'm always so behind on work, always. When I think, okay, this is my whole night now, I'm going to do this and just be wiped. And then it's not just the stream itself, it's all the planning. Frankly, those aren't huge planning. Eric takes kind of the brunt of a lot of that stuff, but yeah, I promised you guys there'd be a review stream this month. Do you remember that? This month's almost done and we haven't done it. And I have done, honestly, nothing to make it happen too. Like, it's terrible, Meredith. And every week is like this. I'm like,
all I can tell you is I've done my part.
You have.
Your emails that you needed to send out, I've sent them.
Yeah, and that actually has been really very much appreciated.
So I can't help you.
I'm doing better in terms of, like, just in general. I had like a backlog.
Now.
Yeah.
It will be better now. Dennis Kelly says, Meredith Finch, I believe the character suggestions would be replaced by guest suggestions. LOL. For example, Tomac Art says, Daniel Warren Johnson and Joe Mad, we need to have on the stream.
Yeah, both would be incredible artists. That would be really, really great.
Hulkster, Jim Lee, or Todd McFarlane.
See, Jim Lee.
I bet he'd do it.
I don't know if he would. Look, so
I bet he'd do it.
You really think so? I don't know. Okay, look.
You know why? Because here's why I think Jim would do it, for the same reason that any artist would do it. Because when you do these streams, you make them all about
the artist,
David Finch.
Okay, so I don't know if you're
all about the artist.
Fair enough, but
you're all about showcasing.
Okay, Meredith. All right.
Because you're very selfless that way. Right. You're a good human being.
You got to stop.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
People are gonna miss. I wish.
Okay,
people
I'm
could
gonna hit
see-
mute.
No, you can't hit mute. You can't mute me on my last night.
So Jim Lee has his own stream.
I love you so much, but he'll still come on. You have your own stream. You go on other people's streams.
Sure. So it's possible,
You
but
know he'll come.
I don't know.
Do you want me
Okay.
to reach out to Jim for you?
Uh,
I'll ask Jim.
okay, you do that. And you know what? Actually, really, you do that. That would
All right,
be
I'll ask Jim.
that would be amazing. He is. I don't know if you guys have any idea
I'm
of
not
just
afraid
how.
of Jim.
Yeah, see, I am. There's
I
a
know
difference
you are,
between
I'm
us.
not.
And he is incredibly busy. Like, I mean, he's not only, and he draws still all the time, but he's also running a multi-million-dollar corporation with a whole lot of moving parts. He's very busy.
He is.
So I honestly don't know if it's something that he would be able to do, but we will try.
I'll ask. You know what? The worst thing that can happen if you ask? What's the worst thing that could happen? You might say no.
Yeah.
Really? No one's gonna die. I'll ask. It's Art by Martin has a super chat for $2. It's Art by Martin says, hold on. This is looking great. Happy that we get to see you draw the background on this one. I've been learning a lot. Thanks to you. I wish you could see me point to him. In your mind, visualize Meredith like in a big, long, like circular point. Thanks to you.
Thank you very much, Martin. I really appreciate it. It's nice to do some backgrounds. I wish I had more time to just sit and finish this, or even just sketch it in properly. Like, this is a very, very quickly sketched in background. So the places where it's a little unbalanced, if I did this kind of background all the time, maybe it'd be a little better. It's gonna kind of be what it is, a little bit.
Eric and Russ Hicks, I hope you're taking notes. The next suggestion comes from a super chat from Dyed Milk for $2. Angel Medina as a guest.
Oh,
Very underrated artist.
oh yeah, and criminally underrated artist. My opinion, yeah, up there for like one of the most underrated artists of all time, and he has a very dedicated following. So
let's talk about underrated, because we always give props to
by underrated, I mean,
we always give props to Eric.
Okay.
But you know who else's stream couldn't be possible without?
Who?
Russ Hicks.
Yes, absolutely.
Who also moderates. So Russ.
I said who. I knew exactly what you were going to say.
I was going to say. Yeah. You were giving me the segue.
Well,
Russ,
now I don't want Russ to think I'm like, oh, gee,
no.
who?
Thank you for all the help, Russ. We could not do it without you.
Yeah, for sure.
And he especially can't do it without you when he does Thursdays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Lupo has a super chat for $6.99. I'm just cutting you off, Dave. I'm taking my time.
We were talking about Angel Medina.
We were going to continue talking.
Let me just say quickly, he is an incredibly underrated artist. I don't know how many of you are familiar, but if you're not, look him up. He has an incredibly three-dimensional style. Like it's his figures just have so much form to them. Like it's really beautiful, and also a really cartoony, like wild kind of a style in a really attractive way. It can be a problem working in a style that's more experimental. A lot of artists, and the problem is we really are working in or a lot of writers. We're working in a very writer dominant period in comics, and an artist that tends to be a little bit more wild in terms of style and cartooniness, that kind of thing. It can make it a little tougher, and I feel like he's not gotten the credit he deserves just because of the era that we're in. But I think people will look back and be influenced by his work and appreciate it for many, many years. And I'd really like to see him do a lot more. All right, sorry, go on.
All right. Michael Lupo has a super chat for $6.99. Michael says, I attended Watts online for about 3 years. It's so cool to hear you're heading there as well. My worlds are colliding.
That's great. 3 years, that's awesome. So yeah, I mean, there's so much to learn from that school. So yeah, I'm sure he got a lot out of it. I appreciate that, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to if not like a full stream there, at least doing like maybe an Instagram kind of a thing where I can kind of give you guys a bit of a tour of the studio. So
Luke posted in the Finch Flock his banned by Meredith shirts.
Okay, you got to show me.
Dave can't show you guys, but
I can. Just give me your phone.
Here.
Okay. So there you go. That's awesome. I'm gonna have to get one of those for sure. That's awesome.
All right, next super chat comes from Jim Klein for $50. Jim says, Meredith, thanks for staying up late from Monday Night Draw so often. We really appreciate it. Your energy and singing will be missed. I have a favor to ask the flock. Let Dave and Meredith know how much you appreciate them and Monday Night Draw in the chat. Show them some love. Aw, thanks, Jim.
Thank you very, very much.
You know what? We always feel loved by you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are the best. And don't think I'm not watching what happens on the flock page. I'm constantly having to ban people off the flock page.
That's a whole other thing, though.
That's a whole other thing, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can have a Facebook group without.
No, and especially the chat.
It's a shame, but
it is. Go away, bad people. We don't like you.
So I'm gonna.
Are you doing a book of the week, by the way?
Yes. Is it time?
Well, it's like 4 minutes too.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna draw some shadow down the top of the trees, cover some of the detail I did, and I'm gonna cast shadow of leaves onto it. This is a really great way to kind of indicate larger detail. I can also bring my focal point down a little bit. I don't really want it to be this tree. It kind of indicates like a broader world around, like a cast shadow from outside the panel. I think that's my thinking. Also, it's a whole lot quicker. And considering what we're dealing with time here. I feel so much better drawing, Meredith.
Good. I'm glad we had that conversation.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, we always talk about like artist block and difficulty. I have gone through a bit of a period. Not to like make it like dramatic. It's I was still working, but I just really wasn't feeling it for a little bit, and I was finding it to be a real struggle. So I just feel like a different person sitting down to draw. Like it's great. I'm gonna shadow this too. And you know what?
Daniel Mendez has a super chat for $10. Daniel, I don't see your comment. I think he just says thank you with a little emoji like Barbara Papa bowing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much,
Thank you,
Daniel. Very much appreciated.
I'll just do the book of the week now.
Okay. Now that it's on your mind, it's going to bug you.
It is, because I'm like,
all right,
we're
book
so
of the week.
Close. Last book of the week. The book of the week.
So we're ending on a
blah 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 book of the week.
Okay.
I think actually the way the music goes is
okay. We get it. I'm gonna walk off and protest in a minute. So this book of the week, we have Dave Johnson. This is volume 2 of this is the second volume of his art book. I got this this year at one of the conventions, signed by Dave Johnson, and it's great because it's great because it's Dave Johnson artwork, but I love it too because Dave Johnson, for me, he is the ultimate cover designer. His artwork has a great feel. I love it. Like I love the look of his figures. I don't know if you guys know this, but he actually was a designer, if not the lead designer, on Ben 10. And you can see a lot of, just in this right here, some of that kind of feel. Ben 10 really did a good job of kind of integrating his designs into the look of that show. And I think it was very influential for animation outside of that show too. But he is such an incredible designer, just with shapes like this shot right here. This is a fairly standard kind of a superhero shot, but the way that he's framed it with all of the figures around it is really, really nice. You can see he's got his lighter hand here against the dark here. It's all, this leg is light against this dark bit here. It's all very, it looks natural. It just looks like how it's supposed to look. But this kind of thing takes a little bit of planning. And you can see he's got the figure popped against the dark bit here on this figure. And he didn't have to do that. That's really thinking about making, showcasing it as well as possible for clarity. I think he's got, I'm assuming, and you know, I've talked to him. This is a problem. I talked to Dave Johnson and we just talk. I don't talk to him about his influences and that kind of thing. And I'd really like to have him on the show at some point to be able to talk about that, because this kind of work here is really, it draws on things outside of comics. A lot of this kind of design work. I mean, look at that right there. And the amount of incredibly iconic covers that he's done over the course of his career, it's I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful shot, and so different than what he does normally. This is very, very different. And that's another thing that I really like about his work is he can do really standard superhero stuff. I mean, you could theoretically call that more standard. It's such a beautiful shot, though. It's beautifully put together. And then he does this kind of more designed work, like and these are all different layouts for the same book. Each one of these layouts, I think, is really, really amazing. It's something that, you know, it's a real skill to put these together. And he's just picking one. I mean, I think all of them could be an incredible cover. Very Mike Mignola influence with this, and really, really nice. I think Mike Mignola has got to be a pretty big influence for him just in general, but he has a lot more. He started his career, actually, Meredith, with much more of he really focused a lot on like technology and like, you know, tubes and pipes and that kind of thing. And that stuff really has a design element, but then he really leaned into design. This was like more of a 30s kind of a poster. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. Cool. It really is. Like it's amazing. And I love this one even, but yeah, this was the choice. It just is a beautiful, beautiful shot. I'd love to have that as a poster. And every page, look at this. This is like a self-portrait. I mean, oh no, you know what? I bet you that's Brian Azzarello. I don't know. I would have to ask him, but whoever it is, looks great. A bunch of convention sketches. All of them are amazing. I actually have a Dave Johnson sketch that I managed to get. Whoops. Well, you know, I managed to get in Australia years ago now. I don't know if you remember that, Meredith. But yeah, even as Batgirl, he doesn't just draw Batgirl. The framing is incredible. It's beautiful. I love how he wrote Batgirl on her cape. Like it's a design picture that you'd love to have up on the wall. Yeah. Anyway, look at that. It's great stuff. So this book, I've been looking at a bunch lately. I don't really do this kind of design, and I don't know how I would incorporate it, but I really want to try. This is obviously his design right here, and it's amazing to me that somebody that could be such a great graphic designer just in terms of posters, that kind of thing, could also do such incredible costume design. They're very different skills. Yeah, beautiful stuff. I'm not going to go through the whole book. And full painting too, by the way. I wish it was bigger. Yeah, he's an amazing, amazing artist. And one day, hopefully, we can get him to come on. That would be really great. So there you go. This is a nice store cover. This is Johnson Art Book Volume 2. You can get this at conventions. So, you know, a good reason to head to New York or Baltimore, or he does a decent amount of shows. So if you can find him at a show and pick this book up, or maybe find one online, I'm not sure about that, unfortunately, but yeah, it's a great book. It's as much as, you know, you want to collect all of the books that he does, all these different covers, and look at that, Dave Johnson, inked by Kevin Nolan. Amazing. Having it all in one place like that is really great. So there you go. Book of the week. Meredith, I'm finished.
You done?
I'm done. She's flipping through her Facebook.
I was Facebooking. Sorry. I was very...
Not that she's not fascinated.
Not that I'm not fascinated by what you're doing with the book of the week.
Yeah.
totally fascinated.
Right.
Next super chat comes from Greg L. Static Art for $1.99. Hey, Dina, I'm popping in from work. Work's looking good.
Thank you very much, Greg. Good to see you here, at least for a minute, and hopefully you'll see the rest of it maybe tomorrow when you have a little bit of time. But yeah, thank you so much for coming and saying hi.
And then we have a super chat from Mr. Selleck for 11.99 euros. I actually get to watch live. It's nearly midnight in Ireland, so never had the chance before. Thanks so much for all the lessons, Dave. You've got me back into art and improving faster than ever.
Thank you very much. Nearly midnight. Ireland, the countries that I haven't been to that I'm dying to go to are Scotland, Ireland, Norway, and Japan. I always add more, but those are the ones right now. So I'd love to. I've got a lot of family from Ireland. Like I'm kind of Irish, Scottish, and English. So it'd be really nice to see it. So I envy you being there. Get to see it every day.
Greg L. Static Art has another super chat for $4.99. Wait, what's this about Meredith being missed and last book of the week? What's happening?
We're going to be focusing more on art streams with guests. Basically, Greg, we did some focus group studies, and it turns out that people can't stand Meredith, so that's why we had to make
focus groups. People don't like Meredith. That
difficult decision, but.
Oh, dude. Fortunately, you like me.
I do.
Or it doesn't matter, because honestly, if you left me, I'd take everything you own. So
that's great. It's the basis of a strong relationship right there.
Totally. Brad Scott Art has a super chat for $100.
Whoa, geez, man.
Brad says Monday Night Draw has been one of the best, absolutely, parts of my week. I love watching live drawing, impromptu tutorials, crazy banter, and overall positive vibes. I've had the opportunity to meet you both in person. You don't disappoint. And for one final time, Miss Meredith rocks.
Aww. Thank you so much, Brad.
Don't make me cry, Brad. I'll be back. Oh, thank you so much, Brad. That was lovely.
Really?
So sweet.
Yes.
Guy Dorian Sr. is here. Whoa, just found this on. Very cool, guys. Hi, David Meredith. Hi, Guy.
Yeah, great to see you here. I think it's been a couple years since I've seen. Yeah. Was he in New York? You know what the problem is? I know it's so big that it's just too hard to see everybody. Well, it's great to see you here. Thank you for coming by. It's very cool.
Henry Jeremick wants to know, Meredith, can you please ask Dave when the Thursday night art streams will start? 9 o'clock? They'll be 9s, right?
They'll be 9 o'clock, but the Thursday streams, the time is much more up in the air. As much as I want to be able to say exactly this is the time.
It'll be dependent on whoever
yes, it's very much predicated on. Like I always say, now the guests that I have, we all kind of work at home, so we're all pretty flexible, and it's rarely a problem. But if it is, I try to work around the guest schedule, so it could be a little later. It could, and also depending on where people live too. If somebody is in England, for instance, 9 o'clock at night ends up being 3 o'clock in the morning 5 days later. So it's tough.
Art9 says Meredith Finch did not see me here. Oh, Art9, I saw you. I always see you. And Mr. Selleck says, we have conventions in Ireland, Dave. We'd love to have you.
That would be amazing.
Meredith would go to that one.
Yeah.
Daniel Mendez has a super chat for $10. I would find someone to watch the horses.
See, it'd be worth it.
Sorry, had no idea how to do these chats. I did my first commission mural for the Xbox hardware team, thanks to a lot of Dave's teachings on YouTube.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations.
Awesome. Congratulations, Daniel.
That first job, and that's always the hill to climb. Like, look, there are other challenges, but that's the big one. Now you not only are on their radar, but you also have a portfolio to show professional work to other people, which makes a big difference. So yeah, that's amazing. And thank you very much. It's always great to hear.
And Jimmy Reyes Art's here. Jimmy wants to know, Meredith Finch, will Book of the Week move to Thursday streams? I don't think there'll be a Book of the Week.
That's actually a really good question.
I don't think there'll be a Book of the Week.
Yeah, it's a little tough. See, when I have a guest, I really want to
highlight them.
Yes. And the other thing about the art streams, Meredith is a great host, but she's also not an artist. And so it's a little like expecting you to run the...
I'm phenomenal. I could draw the not roundest circle you have ever seen.
Right. And
so rude.
Not fair to expect you to know all the questions to ask an artist. So I'm always drawing and trying to run the interview at the same time, which is it's a bit of a challenge. So yeah.
You don't ever have me on when you're interviewing an artist.
Yeah, I could. Would you like to come on, Meredith?
No. Your art streams are your art streams.
Yeah.
But to say that I don't know how to ask questions of an
artist. Well, the reason...
It's like to say that I haven't lived with an artist for 19 years.
All right, fair enough. You would know exactly what to ask, but...
I would know what to ask. I'd be a phenomenal interviewer.
What was I thinking? But regardless, it makes it... It's always a mad dash to the finish to try and get everything in there within the 2 hours. And I mean, ideally, when we have guests that really have a lot to say, the last thing I want to do is say, okay, wait, stop. And then just, do something different. So
here's the problem. When I'm on the stream, people can't help but be captivated by me.
Oh, wow, man. We're all going to miss you, Meredith.
So that's why when you do your artist streams, we should really, in order for it to be about the artists, I have to step back. Have to fade into the shadows.
Right. Yeah.
That's really why that is the way it is.
Yeah.
I know it's crushing for all of us. BB Art has a super
You're
chat.
making it easier.
I am. I'm doing my part. Has a super chat for $9.99. Hey Dave, could you explain how you shade someone in all black like Spawn or Symbiote Spider-Man, specifically in the torso?
Okay.
Thank you again. For what may be the final tutorial.
Oh, it won't be the final one, but all right. So, pencil. All right. So I'm gonna draw. This is. I feel like I should apologize for drawing the same angle all the time, but it is like my default. Here we go, 3/4 angle. My shoulder. So I need to obviously establish my basic shapes before I can put anything on top of it. This is where, depending on where you are with your own development as an artist, you're really going to want to make sure to really establish your anatomy. Like here's my bicep, my tricep, and really get that stuff all established instead of doing something that's a little bit more simple, like what I'm doing here. I don't really do a huge amount of underdrawing just because I've done it so many times. I kind of know where it's going, but you don't want to shortchange yourself right from the beginning by not having that there if you're not comfortable. I'm going to lighten this down. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. Okay. We're going to keep this a little simple, obviously. I don't want to spend too long. I'm pressing so hard right now. This is where if I had a mechanical pencil, I would have broken it a couple of times already. So yeah, here we go. This is my basic. I broke it a little bit there. So what I'm going to do is light it my standard direction. And I'm not going to bother doing a rim light on this side. It's not really the point right now. And so I'm just drawing, if it's a circle, I'm drawing away from the light. You guys, I think all understand that pretty well. So I'm not going to belabor that one, but so I'm going to shadow here and here. Nice big heavy shadow here. I really like to turn the stomach under. And so a nice way to do that is to just make this whole area dark. Especially on a character where this is going to be like Spawn, you know, so it's dark. The whole thing is more of a intense shadowing that I would do on a, you know, Captain America or something, for instance. So making that whole area dark. Pull up some shadow in here. He's got a cast shadow from his arm here. Got my ribs here. Meredith, I know right now is intently watching her Facebook. Okay. Shadow on the
So mean.
shoulder.
So mean.
Am I wrong?
No. I'm scrolling through my horse feed.
Okay, so there's my basic lighting. Now what I want to do is make this more like a, you know, a really dark character like Spawn. I'm going to say right now that going heavy with your lighting like this instead of like more of a light touch is going to really take you 90% of the way there. And you could actually just stop like this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to centralize my lighting kind of along the high point here, all along his arm, along his chest here. It would be, the light would be coming through here. Basically, my light is going to be hitting here on the sphere. It's not going to be along the top because I've got my light coming at this angle. Imagine that I drew it so it actually lines up with that. But and that's a really important thing that people really miss a lot of times. Like on Creature from the Black Lagoon, I'm not going to light the top of his head the lightest. I would light him here the lightest because the light is kind of pointing at him. If I was to light him directly from the top, it would be a very different lighting. His whole face would be kind of in shadow. It'd be a cool look, but it would be very dark. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start to shadow the other side. And I know what you're thinking. I'm shadowing the other side of something. I'm shadowing something toward the light, and that's like a real contradiction. But it's not, because my light is along the center, and this is rounding away from the light on this side. And this is what really gives you the feeling of a heavier shadow, or a like a shiny dark surface. So I'm going to go much heavier here too. I really want to focus my light to just this point here. I'm going really extreme with this, but I'm going to fall on my face right now. I can already feel it coming. I really wanted to go super dark with it. I'm going to get to the point where I'm just like destroying it, which is a real risk. I don't really generally ever light something quite so dark, but I really wanted to kind of make the point, and let's see how it goes. You never know. This could still work, maybe. Even if this doesn't work, I'm hoping that you kind of get the point. But there you go. That's like really, really dark. And that is how you do it. And really all it is just using, making sure that your light source is hitting the high point that's pointing more toward you, and then darkening the other side of that also away from it as it curves away, just on both sides. That's kind of the whole theory behind that. All right. You can wake up.
Chandra Wilson has a super chat for $5. Chandra, I'm going to look to see if you wanted to add something to your super chat while making a comment. We've got to get you back down to Memphis for the Comic Expo, says Chandra.
Oh, yeah. I'd love that show. It's one of my favorite shows. They were so great there. Also, it's Memphis, which they have such good food, Meredith. I had a great time. Yeah, so yeah, really anytime. I'd love to go. Hopefully that will happen. Maybe even, next year. So we're kind of toward the end of the conventions for this year.
Greg Static Art has a super chat for $4.99. No more Monday Night Draw. Extremely sad news, but I hope you guys are happy in what you do, and I hope to someday see more Finch live drawings. Thank you guys for everything. Greg, Dave will be doing stuff on Thursdays.
Yes.
It just won't be Meredith.
I'm not going far.
Dave's not going far. He's just moving to Thursdays.
Right, and Meredith will still be back.
Sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, she's going to be here for Christmas. We have a Comics on Coffee stream coming up. I need to actually finalize a date with the Comics on Coffee people, but that's coming. And they're the best sponsor ever, Meredith.
They're great. They really are. Dan Eubanks has a super chat for $20. Hey guys, good stuff as always. I was told my work was good enough for indies, but not polished enough for mainstream. Never got a definition beyond that. Thoughts as to what he was possibly referring to? Appreciate y'all.
No, okay. So not having seen it, I am familiar with work being described that way, and it can mean a few different things. There is always a possibility, obviously, that this is an opinion that is not fair or accurate. So there's that. But there's also the possibility that when you're drawing figures, you need to really be aware of proportion first and foremost, and it really comes down to foundation. And if that gets a little bit weak, you can have figures that may be nicely drawn, but the heads will be too big. Things will be a little odd here and there. And work that kind of tends in that direction can be described that way. And I've seen that happen. So really the solution for that is really to fix that, because I don't think that works anywhere. That's a possibility. Another possibility is that you have some strong weaknesses in a few areas, like fabric or perspective, things like that, like fundamental things that you really need to work on. And that, I think, is something that you can take a look at your own work and make a pretty good decision on where you are in terms of that stuff, just yourself. So that's another thing. Another factor is that you could be drawing characters that just, while look very cool, really don't look like the kind of, like, you're drawing Superman. He doesn't really look like Superman. He looks like, kind of your version, very odd and not something that fans would be familiar with. And that is a very hard sell. It can be awesome. And I don't want to, Raphael Grandpa draws like his own characters, his own style in a beautiful way. It's very, very different. I don't know if he struggled at first with that. I love his work. I think he's groundbreaking. And now that it's, with his new book, his Gargoyle of Gotham, I think he's really breaking out huge. But that can be a struggle. So it could be that. And the final thing that it could be, and I see this quite a bit, honestly, and this, I'm going to say this is maybe the most common, and that is work that is solid. You have the fundamentals, but your polish is very weak. And it can be, the main thing that makes it weak is, so I'm going to do a little bit of rendering, and here we go, and you can see these are all pretty well evenly placed. And I'm going to kind of finish it off into that, there are people who do that a whole lot better, but that didn't take me very long. It's very clean. If I was to just kind of throw lines, all over the place over a whole picture, you'll end up with something that's a real mess. And that, like, having patchy rendering and rendering that's just really not making sense, and maybe fighting the look of your picture is something that more commonly than probably other things will get you maybe that description. So that's another thing to kind of look at. I'm going to say in all those cases, life drawing is so important. It really is. Certainly for the rendering, that last example, you really need to look at how other artists have solved those problems. If you don't want to do rendering, that's a great choice. You look at something like Alex Toth, maybe. Or Chris Samney. Are you guys familiar with Chris Samney? He's really amazing, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So a style like that, where it's a little more simple and graphic. If you're not really into like all the little tiny lines that I'm doing here, and it's not really Like there are people that truly hate this kind of work where it's, you know, a lot of lines all over the place, and it just comes down to, you know, your personal taste and aesthetic. So, but it still needs to be clean. It can't be when there are a lot of lines and they're really just haphazard. You can very much get that description. So that's another possibility. All of those are possibilities. Honestly, if I were you, and the way that I did it when I was trying to learn is I just assumed that they were all true. You know, as a matter of fact, actually, the best help that I probably ever got was totally unintentional. I sent my work into Marvel, and they sent me a form back that said, you need to work on, and it had a list of things I needed to work on: background, storytelling, anatomy, the works, right? Everything, like every single thing that was. But what I didn't realize was that was just a form letter, and the guy just didn't bother checking anything off. Now, he probably did that because he meant I needed to work on everything. So I actually don't know. Did he mean it? Whatever. It doesn't matter. I worked on everything. Like I just assumed all of those things needed a whole lot of work. And I really went back and overhauled everything. And I think it really helped. So, you know, best thing you can do with criticism is act on it. Whether it's fair or not, it'll still make you a better artist.
That was lovely, Dave.
Sure. Thanks. You didn't hear a word of it, but thank you. I say that like I'm bitter. I don't
You're
care.
so mean. So mean to me, like I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I know you don't.
Truggy Dude has a super chat for $20. Truggy says, Dave, I hope you understand the immeasurable contribution you've given to a new generation of artists. There's nothing more selfless than teaching. Thank you, Dave and Meredith. God bless you and your family.
Thank you very, very much. I can't begin to say how rewarding this whole thing has been all the way along.
Done. It's
no,
not Monday Night Draw done.
Oh yeah. I really want to recommit to getting more tutorial stuff done.
Maybe I'll have more time. You could take the Monday nights and do tutorial stuff.
I kind of think so. It'll give me just a little bit of extra time. But this whole experience has been, I couldn't imagine like a, you know, parallel universe where I didn't make the decision to do this. Like I couldn't live without it. I feel very, very, you know, blessed to be able to do this. And, you know, it was such a, I don't plan things. You know, I really don't. True. Everything's a whim for me. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'll do this, you know? So you know, I wish I could say, oh yeah, I totally, you know, I planned this and I knew I would have a YouTube channel, and no, I figured it would last a month. So I'm so glad that it did.
We have a super chat from Poke Monty 23 for $5. Poke Monty says, I so wish y'all didn't have to go, but wish you the best. On another note, I'm having issues with drawing faces. Any tips, Dave?
Okay. Yes, I do hope my tips are helpful. But the reason I'm a little hesitant is, and thank you, by the way, is...
Oops, there goes your ruler.
All right. The reason I'm a little hesitant to say that I could just help is I don't quite know what the problem is. I will say that the number one thing you want to look at is your basic underlying form. I mean, that it just informs so much that's over it. It makes such a big difference. I really recommend Andrew Loomis. You can find Andrew Loomis's books in PDF format for free online. They're a great resource for that. How to Draw Comics a Marvel Way. Stanley and John Buscema is really, really great for that. My heads were entirely How to Draw Comics a Marvel Way for most of my career. And I kind of more lately incorporated some ideas from Loomis. So either one is really great. There is also George Bridgman's Guide to Life Drawing, which I'm a big fan of. I am not a big fan of how he constructs his heads. Not to say that it's bad or anything. It's just, it's very complex, difficult to work with. I find it unwieldy. How about that? So I'd say you really want to, and you know what, again, like I said, with advice, if this advice is not applicable, I still recommend doing it. You won't lose from doing it. The other thing that it really kind of comes down to is how well you're drawing your features from different angles. And that's something that you really need to kind of focus on. If you struggle drawing noses when you're looking down at a face, draw a bunch of those. Or eyes, eyes, mouths, all those things really change shape quite a bit from different angles, and that can really present a problem. And the worst thing is it can present a problem that you're just not aware of. You know that it's not working, but not why. And generally speaking, it can be too much of a distance between the nose and the mouth. That comes down to your basic head form. Or it can be the nose is just looking wrong at a particular angle. And that really comes down to just learning those features more. Once you kind of get those things done, I think you'll be much, much stronger. So I hope that's helpful, having not seen your work. Either way, though, I mean, it will be helpful. It's just not, targeted advice. I don't know what I'm trying to say, Meredith. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm trying to do with scales right now, and I want to get enough in that you get a sense of the detail, but not so much in that we'll be here until 5 o'clock in the morning. And so what I'm doing is I'm just kind of using it like shadowing, like this could be a rendering coming out. So I'm not going to draw it anywhere on any of the light areas, just kind of coming out of the shadows. And I'm thinking in terms of, I've got like a circle shape here. I'm going to attach another one here, another one here, maybe another one here. And so I'm going a little looser with it and a little quicker. So you can see I'm not being exactly clean with that, but that's really the idea. I'm drawing kind of connection points between shapes. And it's not perfect because, again, if I made it perfect, I would be Arthur Adams. And who knows? Because I've got a picture from Arthur Adams of creatures from Black Lagoon on the screen, and it must have taken him ages. I mean, it's worth it. It's beautiful, but a little more than we can do here. Honestly, give me all the time in the world, and I'm not going to draw a creature like Arthur Adams can, but there you go. Have you fallen asleep?
No. You were talking.
Okay.
All right. Michael Kamas has a super chat for $5. Hi, guys. Dave, I've been watching you and Eric for the past couple of months. See? You don't need me. Do you think you'll be at the next Calgary Con? I'd love to meet you.
I don't know. And yeah, it'd be great to meet you. And it's a great convention. I don't know. Maybe next year. It's a great show. So yeah, I'd be all for going back and seeing Calgary again. Maybe I can convince Meredith to go. We've got family there.
We do.
We haven't seen him for a bit. We overstayed our welcome last time we went.
Yeah.
So we went every year.
Nope.
No, what?
No.
Okay, we went every year for a couple of years, and by the end of it, we just went at a time when they had a lot going on, and I was like, "Oh, maybe we should give them a break for a year." And we haven't actually been for a couple of years, so I think they're due to put up with us again.
Bree Inglaze 123 says, Meredith Finch, good to hear your voice. How are the chickens? The chickens are good. 15. We got so many eggs today. We got like 7 or 8 eggs today.
That's a lot.
So many eggs. Chickens are good. The babies are growing up. We got 15 full chickens. I would say some of them are old. They're not all laying. But, we're doing well.
Yep. More eggs than we're going through, that's for sure.
I have 4 dozen eggs at the house right now.
Yeah, if anybody needs eggs.
No, I've got to give Edward some eggs. He wants eggs. And I got Paula will need eggs, so I'll give her eggs. Don't you worry, I'll get rid of the eggs.
Okay. Everett is our second oldest. Paula is Meredith's buddy. You can't just throw names out of people that, they don't know who you mean. It's rude.
I can do it.
It's rude.
I can do whatever I want to do. The point is I'm getting rid of my eggs.
Right.
Navy Shark says, man, a lot of people must have felt this was the last Monday night draw. There were a lot of veterans showing up tonight that have been gone for a while.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm going to say Navy. Part of it is I got a little lazy with setting up the.
Yeah, you finally start posting it ahead of time.
Yeah, I would set up the link for it like 10 minutes before it started, and it was really affecting the live numbers. So I thought, okay, I should probably not do that. And so I posted this one earlier this morning, and it makes a difference. It really does. I mean,
people know that you're actually posting.
I know. It just makes sense, doesn't it?
You can use this for your Thursday night streams.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, the kitten is under my leg. Come here, kitten. There we go. I know. Don't freak out.
What time is it? 8:35. Oh, I got half an hour.
Finish, right?
I'm gonna finish. Yeah, it's just gonna be how much detail I can get in it.
Get as much detail as you can until 10 o'clock, and then
Yep.
or 10 o'clock. Sorry, 9 o'clock.
This is where some of this detail starts falling apart just a little bit, unfortunately. And you know what, I don't want to just start. I don't want to get to the point where I start just making it a mess. You know.
Adam Meyer has a super chat for $5. Adam says, "I'm so old. I remember when Monday Night Draw was on Sundays. LOL. Good times."
That's a long time ago now. It really is actually. Like it's time has passed.
You know you're part of the OG crew.
Yeah.
When you know how that played out at the beginning.
Yeah, watching me trying to do it on my own, and then Everett, our second oldest, coming to rescue me, and then
original episode.
Yeah, and then Meredith came down
to save it.
Yeah, she was never intended to be part of this.
I was not supposed to be part of it.
And you all see why.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the whole thing's about horses and birthday.
Yeah, horses and chickens, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
This whole show was supposed to be about heavy metal and skulls.
Me. It's supposed to be about me. Chris Olette has a super chat for $9.99 US. Chris says, "Hey, David Meredith, want to join the collective gratitude for this dream and all the support you give to the flock and my comic satellite girl as well. Many thanks and blessings going forward."
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you. And
thanks, Chris.
Yeah, hopefully the satellite girl is doing well. I haven't heard enough. I need to go check. I ordered my copy, and if you haven't gotten a copy, if you haven't seen it, I don't have a link right now. Dang it. Maybe you can throw up a link if you wouldn't mind, Meredith.
Did you really say Meredith? Because I'm not.
No, maybe
Eric, you meant.
Yeah.
You didn't say Meredith. Did
Okay,
you?
I did. Look, I don't know.
I mean, Eric, basically it means you and I are in the same filing cabinet in his head. Rika Ingles, 123, has a super chat for €5. Dave, I talked to your kid on Instagram. He said you were coming to Berlin. Is that right? Missed you, Meredith, and the flock. I don't know when we're going to Berlin.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is right.
Right in the sense that Everett would like Dave to go to Berlin.
Yes. Like okay, generally speaking, with conventions, there's so many places. If I really want to go somewhere, usually I can go. So yeah, I really want to go, and we've been talking about it. So yeah,
he doesn't have an actual invite.
I don't have an actual invite yet.
Anywhere without the invite.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be able to work it out. But yeah, I really want to go, and that's definitely in the plans. And yeah, it'd be great to see him. We're gonna get tattoos.
That's really the only reason why he wants to go. Dan Frank Faruga. No, that said that wrong. Daniel Farugia. That sounds better. Has a super chat for $5. Hi, Dave. Longtime fan of your work. Will you be doing any live portfolio reviews with Rob Marzullo anytime soon? And if so, how can I submit my work? You could do that on one of your Thursdays.
Yes, and that's definitely the plan. Maybe even next Thursday.
Maybe you should make friends with Robert Marzullo again.
Oh, come on. It's not like we left on bad terms. The problem is,
when was the last time you talked to Robert?
It has been a while. He's busy too. We're all busy. You know how it goes.
I hope he's one of those friends where you're like, I haven't talked to you in ages, but we're still really good friends.
Yeah, I'm sure. I have no doubt. Yeah, I really need to plan that. That's something I talked about planning before, and I haven't yet. That's, I don't have a good excuse for it, unfortunately. But yeah, I want to talk to Robert. I don't know in terms of submitting. Eric will be able to tell you as soon as the time comes. He's going to, I can pretty much predict what Eric will do. And if it's something different, he'll let me know. But we'll put up some information in the comment section, whatever, of YouTube, where we announce things, and have some kind of a process that way. What I would like to avoid, and I'm just going to say this going in, I don't want to be reviewing pinups. I want to be reviewing 3 pages of sequential art. It can't be more than that. I've said that before, and it's so difficult to hold to that, and I end up doing more. But a 4 or 5 hour stream gets very, very difficult to do. So it'll be 3 pages. Make sure it's sequentials, and also make sure that it's your newest work. The work
Don't make Meredith come down and throw the hammer down.
That's right. Yeah. So I saw an artist that has really been developing in New York. He's very, very young, and he showed me his work, and then he showed me work that was from last year. It was like page 2 of the portfolio. I thought, what's going on? And he just hadn't organized it. And I said, yeah, you really need to put your best foot forward. You want to show your newest work, because that's what when you show somebody your portfolio, you're saying basically, this is what I can do. So you don't want to show them something that you can beat now. If it's not your best,
take it out.
Take it out. So yeah, we're going to plan that very soon, and maybe next week. I'm going to try for next week.
If you were going for, here's the thing. If you were going for a job interview at any other job, you're not showing them crap from 10 years ago. And you should not have crap from 10 years ago in your portfolio either. Pick your 5 best pieces, because I can tell you right now, after I flip through 5 pages, I don't want to see anymore. So if it's not good stuff at the beginning, don't bring it out.
Truthfully, this is very often
count. Like when you walk in a job interview, how you look, and the same is for an artist portfolio.
Very often, Meredith, I do want to see more. I really do.
No.
But we don't have time. So,
I can tell you, editors look through enough crap. If you don't have you need to be.
What I mean is,
keep it simple, stupid.
There are times
follow that method.
There are times I'm just really enjoying looking at the work. I'm not making any decisions or revising any opinions at that point. So it really is a waste after that point. It is, but in order for everybody to get a chance, I'd really like it to be.
It's
sequential pages, no more than 3. We're gonna very much hold it to that. I want that to be like a hard rule for everyone. I'll
come down for that stream. I'll make that 3 pages.
Because what happens is the first time I say, okay, yeah, 1 more page, then I kind of have to do it for everybody. And that's when we're all there all night. And it's not just tough.
Fair to the other people who are waiting. If you do 3 pages per person, you get like twice as many people.
Yes. And when you're waiting your turn, it can be a long night just sitting there, and I do think there's a lot of value in seeing other people getting their portfolios reviewed too. But let's face it, I mean, everybody's there to have their turn. So we want to make it as quick as go. I can tell you that
I'm just going to be honest. As an editor or as a writer or anybody looking at your portfolio, I made a decision within the first 3 pages. You are very kind, Dave. You look through people's portfolios all the time. I can tell you right now, within the first 3 pages, I know if I like or don't like the work. So if your best work's not the first 3 pages, don't bother showing me your portfolio. Michael DeFonte has a super chat for $10. Dave, I know the show is supposed to be about heavy metal and skulls, but chicken songs and etc. adds a welcoming, family-friendly quality and charm that you don't get anywhere else.
Well, that's great.
Thanks, Michael.
The problem is that I like drawing darker things, but really it's not really who I am. It's like an outlet.
You just pretend.
It's all fake.
It is.
I hate to say it, but
you want to have the bad boy image, but you're not really a bad boy.
No, not really.
You're a good person. Don't let anybody know.
Okay. All right. Let's. What are we looking at for time? 8:44.
8:44.
I'm trying to get through all these scales as fast as I can. I hope this isn't like watching paint dry for you guys. I know it's not.
Stream maybe says, yes, dress for the job you want.
Yeah.
Mr. Ewok one says, I appreciate David. He spent like 15 minutes looking at my paintings at New York Comic Con.
And it's a pleasure. I do really enjoy doing it. And especially at a convention, I don't necessarily just have to look at 3, like if I'm enjoying looking at them, I can go just a little bit further and spend a little more time, which is nice. And thank you very much for showing me your stuff. I'm very curious to know which one it was. I saw some really great stuff this year. I think the next generation of artists is going to be the best one yet.
That's because they're all learning from you.
Yeah. Yeah, there are some incredibly talented people coming up, and incredibly talented people, just on the cusp, not quite in yet. And New York is such a place to go to get your work seen. So I saw a lot of really, really great stuff. And I'm going to say this right now, I saw a couple of times work that I thought was really, really good, publishable, but I wouldn't publish it because it just, there are things that are like windows that are just really flat, and just, weaknesses that are a bit more of you have to just stop and take the time to focus on those details. And it always bugs me a little bit when I see work that is so strong, but some things are just be kind of skimmed over. Maybe, I don't know if it's too difficult or just unaware or what. And I try and point it out. I do think a big part of it, Meredith, is that until you're really aware, let me give you a for instance. Watch this. So this is, I was just thinking about this. So I'm going to draw an eye. Here it is. Imagine this is tight. It's not really tight, but there's an eye. And I'm looking at comics. For instance, actually, and I don't have it on my desk, unfortunately, but last week we had Ed McGuinness. You look at something published and you wonder, what's the difference between this and something that Ed might do? And I'm just going to go ahead and take this a whole lot further. I'm going to heavily shadow here. So what I have here, it's loose, and I apologize. I only have so much time, but the difference between that eye and what I had initially, it's line weights and some shadowing, but really it's very graphic kinds of shapes. And when you're learning how to draw, it's easy to kind of forget that and miss that and just draw the eye, draw the shape, but really miss the shape design of all of those kinds of shadows going together. Let me, you know what? Hold on. Okay, it's too small to see. What I was thinking about is Wonder Woman, her eye here. I've been talking to Eric about this too. This is something Eric's really been focusing on maybe 6 months ago. It's, he's kind of past that at this point, but that ends up being a real graphic shape. And it's very different than what you see somebody that's really learning draw. And it's something to really be aware of in your own work. I don't even remember where I was going with that anymore. It's been so long. I'm sorry. Just taking forever here. Kind of lost track, Meredith.
Right,
Take over.
Just move along.
All right.
Daniel Ferrugia has a super chat for $5. When you say pinups for the live portfolio review, do you mean single character splash art? Just want to clarify. Thank you for all that you do.
I mean, yeah, single character splash art. And the reason being, and thank you, by the way, sorry. The reason is it's not easy to do a really strong image of a single character, but it also can hide a lot of weaknesses. You're never going to draw a head, or very rarely are you going to draw a head kind of 3/4 from behind, and then the back of an ear, things like that. You're just not going to encounter if that's the kind of work you're always doing. So it's important to, or cars, or buildings, and like an office with paper all over the desk and people running around, and that's important stuff to show that you're able to do convincingly. And it's a more rare skill than you might think. I will say in New York, I saw some really good examples of perspective. But I also saw some very strong work with some very weak perspective. And that is a killer. When your perspective looks very unconvincing, you are not going to get work. And you can look at the figures and say, hey, you know, look at how good this stuff is. Like, why am I not getting work? What's going on? Well, they need to hire somebody for sequential storytelling that can do all that stuff. And also, you need to bear in mind that it's not like it used to be, you know, where you live in New York. I know you probably don't live in New York, but you know, imagine that you live in New York and the artists you're competing with are also New York, and that's really the talent pool that's out there. Now you're competing with people that live all around the world, and like South America has so many outrageously talented artists, absolutely incredible. Mexico has a ton of, you know, like just countries that, while there was some representation from those areas, you know, a while ago, nothing like there is now. Europe, artists from Europe are much more likely to be involved in American comics than they once were. And Asia, you know, there are just so many, and you're competing with all those people, which can be a little bit disheartening. But I mean, when you do this job, you really have to decide what you want from it, because this is not a 9-to-5 punch the ticket kind of a job. This is a fight against your own limitations your whole life. And that's what makes it fascinating and exhilarating, but it can be difficult. So, you know, you look at the competition around the world and it can be daunting, but also bear in mind, you now have the work of all of these incredible artists to look at to help drive your work further. And you don't want to be good enough to get in. You want to be good enough to be remembered and to have fans hopefully be excited to see your work. So there you go. Okay, go Meredith. I keep just talking myself into a corner.
Diet Milk has a super chat for $2. Diet Milk says Slipknot and rib cages.
There you go. See? Awesome. Slipknot. I love Slipknot. They're a great band. Five Finger Death Punch. It's a good band. You know what I'm into right now? Like entirely. It's my favorite band right now. Temporarily. This is how it goes. It changes all the time. But right now it's Volbeat. I love Volbeat. Such a good band.
Dave?
Yes?
I know Jeremy wants you to add a few blisters or scales on the forehead of the creature.
Okay, I will, Henry. I didn't want to do it with this pen. It would be too heavy. So I kind of like I switched to the smaller pen for this too. And I'll switch back to it. As soon as I get his arms almost done, some of the background I think is going to end up having to be not done, unfortunately. But
because it's 8:52.
Yes, I'm going to run out of time. I got more done than I was kind of afraid.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I want to finish the water too. Like if this doesn't really get done completely, you can't even see it. If this doesn't really get done, I think it can survive as more of a graphic shape. But the water needs to get done because otherwise it's just floating on nothing.
Luke for Wardson has a super chat for $4.99. Luke says, Dave and Meredith, I'm close to inking an entire issue of my own comic book. Always work on it during the stream. Hope to show you all some of it soon. That sounds awesome. Congratulations, Luke.
Yeah, for sure. That's a big job.
That is a big job.
And I'm sure you know, Luke, but when you start inking, if it's not something you do a lot of, it really exposes a lot of weaknesses in the pencils, and it can be deeply frustrating. But you become such a much better artist from having done it. Once if you really treat it like, you can't just throw ink everywhere. You can, you know, but you really shouldn't be just throwing ink everywhere. It should be very considered. And every line, I say this as I'm drawing a million lines everywhere, but it really should be thought out. Like these lines, I don't know what I'm drawing here, but I'm kind of forming them over this way. And I'm going to kind of stick with that theme as I go through here. Who knows what I'm drawing? I really should. If this was a piece I had more time on, I would not be just throwing lines on something. I don't even know what it is. I think that's tree roots there. All right, it's going to have to stop there. Water.
Hansel in the Clouds has a super chat for $5. Hansel in the Clouds wants to know, so happy to be part of the last Monday Night Draw. Any finger exercises Dave could recommend to avoid cramping when drawing lots of small details like the scales?
Do one of these. So, I do both hands actually. I figure while I'm there, I might as well do both. I do that quite a bit. And then really the other thing for me is I don't press hard with these. That's a real help. If I'm using pencil, I tend to press hard, and that is really torture on the fingers and the hand. So I just use my tape. I've tried other things. I just like this tape. It has the right feel. So that makes a huge difference. My hand, and you can see I've got a pretty good callus there. I've got one here. So I've got a few, but it never really gets too bad with tape. Without it, I went through years where my hand was just in absolute agony. I don't know of a better hand exercise than that, though, unfortunately. But I do find that actually, because you're gripping all the time, you feel it in your arm a little bit, and that stretches those muscles out just a little bit. It can help. I really like working this way sometimes. I get so detailed and like so, and it's nice just to kind of throw some stuff down and just go for it.
Just go for it. Dan Genovese says, well, I'm sad that we'll be seeing less of Meredith. 2 streams a week is tough for me to keep up with.
See, there you
And
go.
for Dave to keep up with, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot.
It's just too much.
Part of the problem, too, and I was saying...
What? Your favorite TV show only on once a week.
I was saying this to Meredith this week, too. There's a cap on how long I can continue a show where the main focus is me drawing a picture, because you guys have all seen me draw. Like, there's a point where I feel like, how is it really entertaining anymore? Whereas having guest artists, that's something that I can do forever. And, it's always, it really changes things up. You really never know quite what technique we're going to try. It's different tools. I think it has, the potential to be something that I can do for years and years. So that actually is a major factor. I remember when I met Meredith, she watched me draw and she's like, whoa, look at that. That's amazing. I look over 10 minutes later and she's, we didn't have phones back then. She wasn't scrolling through her phone, but she did actually bring books to conventions.
Knitting books.
Yeah.
You can only watch that so many times.
Yes.
Swag Pendizzle says, hold on, let me make sure I read the whole thing. Not sure if you remember, but when I was in 2nd grade, my teacher gave you a poster I drew for you, and you sent back an amazing Batman drawing.
Oh, that's awesome.
You wrote, keep on drawing, you're natural. I continued to practice and ended up attending art school. Thank you for everything.
That is great. Well, I hope art school is going well. And, I'll say art school, you get what you put
old. In. He was in grade 2.
I know.
You're an old man.
Yeah. Yeah, I get more and more evidence every day that I'm old. Yep. You know what, though? The alternative is worse. I guess you could be young, but, I'm not getting any younger. So the only other alternative available to me is worse. How's that?
Yeah, better be old.
It's a privilege to get old. Oh, his forehead, Henry. Sorry, hold on. What are you doing?
Nothing. You're drawing. I didn't know what you were doing. It's like, hold on. So we're all holding on.
Oh, okay. Like everything just went quiet.
I just expected something from you. The way you said it, I was like, so then I was just waiting for you.
No.
Did you just say hold on?
I did, but
So I kind of expected something from you.
okay. That's really not what I meant, but yeah. You can start speaking again.
Okay, I'm speaking right now.
Thank you.
What else would you like me to say?
All right. Anyway, I don't want to get too crazy with the detail on his face, Henry. Like there's a point
That
where,
looks good there.
yeah, like I've done it enough times
Pull it
before,
back.
where things can kind of get a little nuts. You know what? We got a lot done with this one.
I'm
Got a whole background?
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
You got significantly more done than I anticipated, and you know, especially when we were talking earlier tonight, you're like, "Oh, it's gonna be a long stream."
It's not even so bad that the trees, like this is all just black and white. I never do this, but it's not bad. You know, I could leave it. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to sign it. And it is 9 o'clock. So there we go. All right.
That's it.
That's it. Thank
Stay
you,
tuned.
everyone. He doesn't. Oh, you know what he needs? Shoot.
Not say two.
L is still almost done. He still needs pupils, though. Okay. There we go. Yeah, thank you everyone for spending Monday night with us. Really appreciate it. This was a lot of fun. Happy Halloween also. I don't think we really talked about Halloween the whole time.
Our Halloween stream.
But yeah, this was an absolute blast. It went kind of better than I was afraid I was really going to have a little more trouble trying to get this done. So yeah, this is a lot of fun. I am going to start working on a review stream right away. I know I said, oh yeah, it's coming up, but you know, unless I actually do something about it, it doesn't actually come up. So it will be. I'm going to start working on that tonight, and within the next few days, we'll have an update and a time set when we can do that. So I will see you guys all for that. The next stream is going to be an artist focus stream. I'm actually not sure exactly. Eric, I think, knows what we've got scheduled. We'll figure that out too, and we'll put up an announcement for that. That'll be coming up right away. Well, you know, relatively right away. And I'll be working on a new video just in a few days, so that should be coming up fairly soon too. Anyway, there you go. That's all I got. So yeah, thank you everyone. Happy Halloween. Hope everybody has a good night.
Happy Halloween, everybody! And I'm sure this is not the end of Canada. Don't you worry. I'll be out. I'll show up when you least expect me.
There you go. All right.
Thanks for the love.